For many people, this concept of eternal life is really believable, and they believed it their whole lives. For other people, they don't believe it. They believe that once we die, we're gone, we turn to ashes, we don't go anywhere. Then there's other people that believe that we move on, but we don't connect still with people on earth. I mean, there's 1,000 different beliefs about life, right? Being eternal or not eternal. And I want to share some thoughts today, and I'm going to share some personal experiences that blew my mind, that really have made me look at life so differently, death at so differently. And I'll share what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm David Essel for the past 43 years as a #1 best-selling author, counselor, minister, master life coach, radio, TV host. We cover all of these topics. As a matter of fact, I remember I've interviewed so many people that have crossed over and come back, right? And their stories are fabulous. Betty Eadie was the very first one I interviewed, I think in 1990, Into the Light, about her passing over and coming back. And here she was in a body bag, zipped up in a hospital room, and she was moving. And what she had done before that, they had put her in the body bag before they declared her dead, she had seen from a ceiling all of the doctors and nurses talking and all of these things. And then she was at the light and came back. So what does life being eternal mean? Well, it means that whoever is passed on is still able to be in contact with you. It means that we're still able to be in contact with them. It means that even when they're in the other world, we will join them at some time, and life is eternal. So in other words, they're with us now. They're with us when we pass. I have no idea if reincarnation is true or not. As a matter of fact, the Dalai Lama, believe it or not, in one of his books, the leader of the Reincarnation Nation, the Buddhist nation, said we teach reincarnation, but we're not even sure if it's real. So I don't know anything if reincarnation is real or not. I mean, I've read a ton of books, of course. I've interviewed a bunch of people that believe in it, but I'm not quite sure. I'm like with the Dalai Lama. We talk about it as if it is real, but we're not quite sure. And the reason he says that is there's no way we can prove it, right? So interesting. But life being eternal is something that has really changed my mind in regards to my personal experiences. And I'm going to walk you through these. So the way a lot of religions teach us is that, you die and you go into purgatory, and then, some incredible being named God makes a decision if you're going to hell or heaven. Okay, so that's one way to look at life, right? Is that it is compact, it's organized, it's structured, and once you leave this place, good luck, but we're not going to see you again. So then I have to say, if that's true, that once someone passes over, that they're not able to contact us, we're not able to contact them, then the story I'm about to tell you is going to be mind-blowing. In the year 2000, I was in Gainesville, Florida, hosting a television show, a pilot television show. We wanted to see if we could take off and have it go syndicated. During that time in Gainesville on a Saturday, I remember really needing a massage. So I called a bunch of people, finally found one that was open, got in with her for an hour-and-a-half massage. 30 minutes into the massage, she stops. And I'm wondering what's going on. And all of a sudden, she says, David, I'm so sorry to stop, but someone's trying to get a hold of you. And I'm sitting here thinking, on my phone? And I said, what do you mean? And she said, there's someone in the room with us, and they want to talk to you. Of course, here I am, 30 minutes into a massage, right, going, what is this all about? This sounds crazy. And she says, listen, I didn't mention this when you come in because this doesn't always happen, but along with being a massage therapist, I am a medium. And there's someone who desperately wants to talk to you. And I'm sitting there going, this is crazy, right? But I'm open-minded to a degree, for sure. Without a doubt, you have to be in this field. And so I said, okay, well, what's going on? And she said, well, it's a gentleman. And you'll know him very well. And he believes that he has an important message for you. So I said, oh, my God, yeah, like let's let rock. And she said, okay, here is the tip so you can figure out who it is. He said that he has a massive tackle box, and you would sit at his feet. And before she got another word out, I was almost in tears. I said, oh my God, it's my grandfather. And she said, and he has the same name as you, doesn't he? I said, yes, I'm named after him. So we went on, and she kept giving me all these details. I mean, details that, other people have probably told you about that are just mind-blowing. Like, how does she know all this about my grandfather and I? Now, something fascinating is that my grandfather really wasn't into kids at all. My grandfather was my idol. When I was a little kid, he was a hunter. He was a fisherman. And so He wanted to be by himself most of the time, and then before we would leave, when we came to visit him, he would give me like 5 minutes of his time. So my parents were constantly pulling me off of running after him because I wanted to be with him so badly. And then he would say this, David, go get my tackle box. And I'd go and haul this big tackle box out, and I'd open it up, and he'd say, take one lure. And she's telling me this, and I'm going, oh my freaking God. And then I would show him the lure, and he'd say, okay, now sit down, and I'll tell you the story. Then he'd go into this long story about catching this fish on this lure, right? So, I mean, right there, it told me that life was eternal. If my grandfather, who had died a very, very long time ago, was coming through to talk to me, and I'll tell you what he eventually the whole message was, but I said, then that means life never ends, because he's been dead 40 years and he's coming to me now. And so then we get to the end, and she said, okay, he's now going to tell you why he decided to come and talk to you. When he was here on earth, he was unfamiliar with loving, and obviously with loving children. And he really didn't know what to do with you. So he has followed you your whole life. And he's learning about love. And, you know, one of the things, I don't know when it started, but when I was very young, I hug everyone, right? I look in grocery stores to talk to the people that work in the store, especially. I'm not concerned with the customers, but, you know, I say hi. I go to the same grocery store. I don't know these people, but I say hi to them all the time. It's almost like my Cheers, right? I go in and see all these familiar faces. I'm talking to the homeless. All this kind of stuff is very normal for me. I actually really, really enjoy it. But when it came to and that's the love I'm talking about, right? Like the sharing of love, the smile, anyone can do it. I don't have some special talents or powers. It's just making a decision to be friendly and to smile and to look at people in the eyes. Well, my grandfather told through the medium that that's what he's been following me, and that's what he's been learning. And I just broke into tears. I mean, can you imagine that, getting that kind of a message 40 years after someone dies? And then let's fast forward to proving again that life is eternal. Life never ends. And many of you know that my mom and dad passed over the last year and a half. My mom a year ago January, my dad this January. Exactly a year after my mom passed, my dad passed. They were both very sick for a long time. And so I was just distraught, especially with my mom. My mom and I were very close, and she was my greatest cheerleader. My dad was too, for sure, but my mom really hung in there with me, and she just showed me an amount of love I just can't imagine that anyone else could overshadow her with the amount of love that she had for me and for everyone that she met. A very special woman, an incredible woman. So when she passed away, I was lost. I was really lost for the longest 10 months of absolute hell, crying all the time, hysterically crying at times. I couldn't even console myself, and I didn't know what to do. I spoke with people, and nothing really seemed to work. And then all of a sudden, one night, she visited me before I fall asleep, and I've told this story so many times. I'm laying in bed, definitely wide awake, and my partner's head was on my chest, and her head was going up and down, so I could tell that I was conscious, right? I'm going, yeah, if I see something fuzzy out in the distance, that's weird, but I'm wide awake, I think. Yeah, her head's moving, so I'm wide awake. And then all of a sudden, there's this hallway I walk down, then there's a screen. And the screen lifts up, and there's Jesus Christ, just staring at me with this very beautiful look on his face, but he doesn't say anything. And I'm staring back at him. I go, okay, this is a dream now, but my partner's head is going up and down on my chest, so I said, okay, it can't be a dream. And then the screen goes up, and there's my mom. My mom comes walking towards me and goes, oh, David. And she used to say that all the time. She had a lot of reasons to say that. Oh, David, you did that again? Oh, David. Oh, please, David, don't tell me you did that again. But she was very loving, you know, and she said, oh, David, honey, I'm fine. I really am. I know you're having a really hard time, but I came to visit you today to let you know that everything is okay. I'm going to be with you forever. I'm around you all the time. You'll see me, and you'll see the signs. But, honey, please know this. I'm doing great. I have to go now, but I just wanted to come and speak with you for a moment. I love you. Tears are streaming down my face, right? I am hysterical. As the screen goes back down, I jump up in bed and probably scared the hell out of my partner. then and said, oh my God, I just had a lucid dream, or I was astro traveling or something. And of course, the tears have been streaming down my face for minutes now. And she knew something really magical had happened. I've come to understand with those two visitations that life is eternal. That if we want to communicate with people that have passed over and they're willing to, we really can. Now, I've created this word gateway. And of course, the word gateway has been around forever, but regarding eternal love and eternal life, I use the word gateway. I believe those who are still in physical form need to use gateways to connect with people who have passed over for this eternal life. And what does that mean? Well, I write to my mom and dad every night. Just about, especially the first 10 to 12 months when my mom died. Oh my God, I was writing journals. As a matter of fact, last night I started reading through some of these bunches of notebooks I just filled with letters to her. So that's a gateway. I'm communicating with her, right? Cardinals are a sign of a loved one that's passed over. Well, when my mom passed over, cardinals started coming every day, and now there's 2 cardinals that come every day. It's just crazy how this stuff. So we feed the cardinals, and I make sure that the cardinals have plenty of food, all the other birds too, right? But there's gateways that we keep opening. Like, I'll sit down, and before I make a decision, I'll ask my higher power, I'll ask my dad, who's now gone, what I should do, how I should react emotionally, how I can handle this stressful situation I'm in. And then I just sit back and listen. I get answers all the time. My dad is with me all the time. My mom is with me all the time. But I am not unusual. I'm just someone that continues to let them know I want them in my life. I mean, every day I pick up flowers. I've got a ton of tropical plants in my yard, and a lot of them have all kinds of flowers. And I'll take a flower for each my mom and dad and put it on a mantle. Today, I ended up taking a bunch. I think I took like 3 or 4 of all these flowers and put them on a mantle, this time in my bedroom, so the flowers would be facing me directly. Life is eternal. Love is eternal. I honestly believe if we want to keep that relationship with those people who have passed over, we can. Now, it might take time. You may find different gateways than the one I've used. You may find a gateway in meditation where you connect with them, or whatever it might be. But let's not give up hope. This is a crucially important message. I hope you'll take it seriously if you desire to connect with people who have passed over. And just remember this: life never ends. Love never ends. Everything is eternal. If you ever want to go deeper on your spiritual path, let's work one-on-one. For 43 years, I've worked with people from all over the world. Just go to talkdavid.com. Comment below if you'd like. Have you had these experiences? Do you believe in these experiences? Do you agree with me, disagree with me? It doesn't matter. Feel free to comment about what this means to you, what this message I just shared means to you, which are messages that have been given to me to give to you. Does that make sense? Also, we have a brand new free program at talkdavid.com called Helping Americans Heal. When you sign up, the very first thing you're going to get is our #1 best-selling book on positive thinking. And then last, if you want to really make a difference in the world of mental health and healing, we've got a brand new mental health and master life coach certification. It's only $150 a month. You can find out more about that at talkdavid.com. Okay, so I'm going to say it again. Life is eternal. Love is eternal. I wish you the most beautiful day. I'm David Essel, and we'll chat again soon.